Hi, my name is Debbie Herbeck, and I'm so happy to be with you this week. I'd like to begin by telling you a little story from a few weeks ago. Peter and I were invited to go on a cruise. It was the first time we had ever been on a cruise, and it was called the Good News Marriage Cruise. And I was not apprehensive at all, but the busyness of life and getting ready and stepping out of the flow of things felt a little bit more like a burden. But I really felt like the Lord said, "This is a gift. I want you to just receive the gift that I have for you and for Peter in this week and all that I want to teach you." So I want to share a little bit about a few of the lessons and how I'm trying to carry those things that I've learned into my life now that I'm back on land. So first of all, as I said, we had never been on a cruise before. We didn't really know what to expect. But I remember one night, first of all, I want to say that the thing that was probably the most challenging is when we got on the cruise, I realized that in order to have this functioning, this is my phone, I would need to pay a lot of money every day. And I had left my kids, my grandkids, my responsibilities, my ministry. I'd left everybody at home saying, "I'm reachable. If you need anything, make sure you text me or call me." Well, I had a decision to make when I got on that cruise. Was I going to be reachable, or was I going to let myself detach in a very good way from all the responsibilities and the cares and the burdens to be present to what God had for me that week? Well, the Lord kind of forced my hand because I decided it really wasn't wise to spend all that money. And so the whole week, I didn't have my phone. And I just want to preface everything I'm going to say about it. This isn't, don't worry, it's not a talk about phones, but the ability to detach and disconnect from my life was a huge gift for me starting out. And I remember one night I was sitting on our balcony, which happened to be right the ocean view. So sitting outside looking at the ocean, we were nowhere near land at all. We were just out in the ocean, which can be either hugely exhilarating or hugely terrifying. There were no landmarks. I had no idea what direction we were going, when we would hit land, anything about my surroundings. But I was just able to be there present on the ocean with the Lord, with this tremendous sense of God's love for me. And I know that God's love has often been talked about as an ocean, so deep and so wide, so unfathomable. And rather than feeling panicked because I wasn't connected to all these things that bring me security, my phone, the people around me, the things I was doing, I was able to connect and reconnect with the Lord himself, the only one who can really give me security. And as I was praying and just in that moment with the Lord, and I had many more moments like that, I felt like the Lord gave me a really cool analogy that I want to share with you. I felt like as he was speaking to me, he said, "What if when you got back from this cruise, someone said to you, 'How was the cruise?' And you said, 'Oh my gosh, we were on this huge ship in the middle of the ocean and the pools were amazing,'" which by the way, they weren't amazing. And people would say, "Really? The pools were amazing? That's what you got out of this cruise?" And I felt like the Lord was saying, the thing that was amazing was the ocean and not the pools. And often what we do, and often what I do, is I substitute the real thing, which is the Lord himself, for something much smaller, something that's an imitation. Yes, it brings me a certain amount of refreshment or joy or enjoyment, like a pool might. But the real thing here, the main event, is the ocean, which is the Lord and which is his love. And so I think on that week, and I share this with you because I think what the Lord is pressing upon me once again, that I want to share with you is the importance of truly being present. I love this quote by St. Mother Teresa. She says, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin." And I don't know about you, but I think it's really easy oftentimes to be in the past, to stay and to abide in yesterday, whether we're have regrets or disappointments about the past, and we kind of stay in the past ruminating about it. Or maybe there were some great moments in the past, and where we are right now isn't that great. And so we just stay back where we were rather than right where God wants us to be now. It's also so easy to stay to be in the future? How many of you besides me are thinking about your next future thing that you're going to do? The vacation, the day off, the time away, the show that you're getting ready to watch a new season of. We're so oriented in a good way to the future, but in a way that doesn't allow us to be present to the present, to ourselves, to the people around us, and to the Lord. So my challenge really has been, how do I stay in the present moment? How do I stay tuned into the Lord and to what He has for me in this present moment? Well, really simply, I'm going to go back to the phone. Sorry, not to hammer this home, but this makes it very difficult for me to stay in the present. And what I noticed for a week of not having my phone, it just cleared my mind. It almost disconnected me from all the things that were drawing me away from the present moment to the things I had to be worried about or anxious about or attentive. Now, I need my phone to do the things the Lord is calling me to do. But I think it was a good wake-up call for me to be able to say to myself, what are the things in my life that are pulling me away from this present moment, from being present to the person right in front of me? I've shared with many of you my experience of meeting Mother Teresa many, many years ago. And the thing that was true about that meeting with her, which I've heard other people say who have met her, is when you were with her, you felt like you were the only person in the room, that you were the most important person there. And she had developed the art or the skill or had the charism of really being able to tune in to the person right in front of her and make them feel valuable and seen and loved. And so my challenge to each one of us, my challenge to myself as I got off that boat was, how can I carry this sense of God's presence in the present with me as I move forward so that I can be listening to the Lord in the way He's trying to speak to me, so that I can be listening well to others in the way they're trying to speak to me and voice their needs. And so I can listen well to myself and what my needs are in terms of being healthy and whole with the Lord. So as we begin together this new year, I challenge all of you to stay in the present moment, to practice this ministry of presence, and to swim in that deep, deep ocean of love that the Lord has for you. Why are we settling for less? God bless you.